Hey there! Today I want to tell you about the map on the D2 Charlie. I have a long video that follows, but the 5 takeaways are that when you configure the map, if you want to see changes you have to zoom in or out, otherwise the changes will not appear. The second takeaway is that the world map is displayed down to 20 kilometers scale, and below that, so 12 kilometers and less, the more detailed map that you selected will be displayed. This is to save calculation time, because if you show the detailed map above 12 kilometers, it'll take a long time to compute, maybe 20 seconds, 40 seconds, and that's not practical. The third takeaway is that the detailed map is really detailed. There's all the streets, all the small pathways, all the restaurants, the stores, so it's really good. And also it's routable for driving, so the watch can give you driving instructions. I have another video later that shows that. The fourth takeaway is that the detailed map is only available for your region. So in my case, my region is Western Europe. I have maps, the worldwide map, number 1. 2 is the Western Europe map with detailed called Topo Active. And I have a third map, which is the Garmin cycle map for Europe too. I don't have Americas, I don't have Asia, so I can only look at the world map for the world, and for detail only Western Europe. And the last point is that you can add custom maps, and I'll show you how to do this on this video. So you can add other regions with detail. So let's look at one of the map apps, and let's look at the settings. So map settings, map, configure maps, and then there's 3 maps installed stock. There's a worldwide map, which is not very detailed, but is quick to display when zooming out. There's a Topo Active map, in my case Europe West, which is very detailed but would take a lot of time to display when zooming out. There's the streets, and this one is routable when driving the car. And then there's the Garmin cycle map, which I guess is optimized for cycling. I added 2 maps. I can tell about that later. So without any map activated, as you see they're all inactive, let's look at what happens. So now the scale is 5 meters and I will zoom out. That's the zoomed in most scale. So zooming out, nothing displays, only the longitude and latitude. And I think if I zoom out enough, there will be also airfields and navigate. There you go. That's a navigate right there. And then you have airfields. And my home or user waypoints. So basically, aviation database and user waypoints are displayed. And that's all. Let's look at the zoomed out most level, and that's 800 kilometers. Okay. Now I'm going to zoom in back to 5 meters and activate one of the maps. I'm going to activate the worldwide map. Here I am, 5 meters, and now zooming out. So 30 meters, nothing. 300 meters, nothing. Ah, there you go. At 1 kilometer you start to have some detail, and that's a river and main roads. That's it. You have rivers and main roads. And then of course you still have the navigate. I think you still have some cities. I think the green dot here could represent cities. That's right. It calls the city names. Saint-Germain. The big dot here is Paris. Okay. So you do have some big cities too. And if I zoom out more, it removes some detail. So now only the big highways and the big cities. And now at 500 kilometers, all the highways are removed, and the cities too. And only the countries and the seas are displayed. And 800 kilometers is the zoomed out level. And now I'm going to look at Americas. And see, America is also displayed correctly with some big cities. What about Asia? Well, same here. Now going to the south. Let's see if I can see Australia. Okay. So this works. And if I zoom in into Australia, I still have airports and main roads. Alright, good. Now let's activate another map. So I'm going to remove this one and activate this one instead, the Topo Active. And I'm going to zoom in again, 5 meters. Okay. Now zooming out, step by step. Okay. So here I have a lot of detail. These are stores, Castorama, Body Minute. These are stores. There's all the streets, all the little pathways. All the detail is there, all the restaurants. And this is a routable map, so you can use it to get GPS guidance when you're driving your car, as in turn right, turn left instructions. Okay, but as I zoom out, you see that the watch takes longer and longer to refresh because it has to go through all the information in the map, and since it's really detailed, it takes a lot of time. So if I zoom out, let's say to 8 kilometers, it'll take maybe 20 seconds. It will work, but it'll take a lot of time. Yeah, it's really long. So there you go, took a bit of time. So now let's see what happens when I activate both the world map and the Topo Active. And again, to see the changes, you have to zoom in or out to get the map to redraw. Okay, now given the speed, I think this is the world map, and yeah, at 12 kilometers, this has to be the Topo Active map because it's so long. That's right. So you get the world map until 20 kilometers, and below, as you zoom in, you get into the Topo Active map. Okay. Let me activate all, yeah, the Topo Active Europe, the Garmin Cycle, well no, that's useless. So I activate all the stock maps. I zoom out of my home country, France. Okay, now I look at Americas, for instance, and going down to, say, Los Angeles. Okay, now I'm zooming in, and there is a bit of detail. That's the world map. That's actually the large highways and the big streets, but there's no detail when it comes to smaller streets here in between the large ones. So there's no information here. So there's no routing possible in Americas or any other region than the one that is, for me, Topo Active Europe. So if you want to add maps, you can do that. But stock on the watch, you only have the world map and a detailed map for your region. So another thing to keep in mind is that if you look at Garmin Express connecting the watch, it says that you have Western Europe, North and South America, Eastern Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Pacific. So all the maps should be loaded in addition to the worldwide base map. So I'm not sure how to access them on the watch. Maybe they only get activated once your location is in these countries. And of course I'm not in these countries at the moment, so I cannot test it. But it could mean that your watch does have other regions. And looking at the contents of my watch ranked by size, so that's definitely the Garmin cycle map. It says just for Europe, but maybe it's not. My friend's map that I added is 1.6 gigabytes. So I would imagine that this is only for Europe if it's 3.1 gigabyte. Now that's the worldwide base map, 50 megabyte, that's it. It's not very detailed, so it makes sense. Now we're left with basically those two. So this is probably the Garmin Topo Active Europe map, and I don't know what that is, but it seems that I do not have any Asia Pacific or Americas map here, unless they're in these two files, which is 3.5 plus 2.4 gigabytes. I'm not sure this is sufficient to hold the whole world. So yeah, I'm not so sure. If anyone in the internet has any idea here, that would be amazing. Thanks. Now I'm going to show you how I got new maps and what they're good for. So map settings, map, configure map. I'm going to leave the worldwide map, remove the Topo Active, and activate the France contours. I don't know, let's see what happens. Now let's zoom in. 50, 30, 20, still the world map. And below that, that's also still the world map. All the way down actually. That is because contour is only it's only a, how would you call that, a layover? Alright, let's now activate the open topo map on top of that. And I think this should be interesting. So now only the topo, and the contours are activated. So the topo is actually another kind of map, which is similar to the Topo Active. There's an additional layer, which is the contour map. So now I want to get rid of this topo map I installed and only look at the contour. Yeah. Okay, that's a lake. That's Geneva. Let's move south. Okay, that should be mountain here. There you go. And the contour map now becomes really useful. Okay, now how do you get new maps on your watch? First of all, you connect the watch to your laptop. Okay. So now we have the watch recognized, and on internet you go to garmin.opentopomat.org, which is this website. You click download and you see the map of the different maps available. So it seems it's only Europe at the moment. So in my case I clicked on this link, the Garmin link for France, and then I downloaded this file. So there's three files, and the France one is the topo map, and the France contour is only the contour, and it's a layer that will be displayed on top of the other map. So you take those two and you just copy paste them in the Garmin folder of the watch, and so just like that. In my case, they're already there here, as you see. So that's why they're now available in the map settings. That's it, guys.